Looks like it's time. Let's go. Hello. How are folks doing? I've actually got, I am going to do the Jupiter and Venus themed dice. I have a couple of other things, little things I'm going to work on as well. Let me just grab molds here though. So I have, I'm working on solar system themed dice this month. I was going to do Jupiter and Mercury, and then I got kind of like, I don't know, I was like, I don't actually know what I want to make for Mercury, so we'll come back to this idea later. But I do have ideas for both Jupiter and Venus. Yes, Jupiter and Venus. So we're gonna work on those today. I have a couple of little commission things I'm working on. I have a set of like dice that I'm in the middle of doing. I need to make like another silver blank and stuff. And then I have a tray I'm working on. I want to try and get as much of the final layer here done as I can. I'm just going to do like a dirt layer. It's not super exciting. Yeah, I guess I was debating whether I should do dirt with foil in it, which is kind of what we did for our first layer of dirt. But I think I'm just going to do plain dirt, because if I do the foil, it might end up kind of sharp. There might be like little bits that kind of stick out, which I don't think would work well. So I think I'm just going to go for the dirt so that it's just exciting from the top. Not super exciting from the bottom. But I do have plans. I do have plans. So for Jupiter, I have one little thing that I'm like debating. I'll go through that in a second. But for Jupiter, I want to do a dirty pour, which is where I put all of the colors into one cup and then pour that into the mold. And my plan is to do like a white. I need one more mixing cup for the white, actually. That does remind me that I need another mixing cup for the white. I'm going to do mainly white resin, and then I have a few other colors here that I thought would work well. So I have like, I'm thinking maybe some of this orange too. So I was thinking maybe these colors, which is kind of this one's orange red, this is like a copper, this is an orange, and then I have kind of a deep maroon sort of color. I was thinking that with the white. What I'm debating is, and then I was thinking of adding some like brown and white ink for some thinner strips, thinner lines. What I'm debating is, do I want to put a little tiny drop of red resin, or maybe like the orange red resin, into like a little tiny drop into the molds before I pour everything else in? Because like Jupiter has like the eyes. Oh, that does remind me actually that I want to do an extra die for each of these. Jupiter's going to be a D20 and Venus is going to be a D8. I'm working on making a set of dice that has all of the heard a cat, I think, hop down from somewhere upstairs, or run around. But I'm going to do a set of dice that has all of the different planets. So I'm making an extra die. I have it all plotted out. Let's see here. Yeah, so I think that should be everything. But let's make sure we've got everything. Got everything here. Which orange is this? Is it the same orange? That might be the same orange. Okay. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, I have these different colors here. I'm actually also going to be using this orange in our Venus themed ones. Excuse me. For the Venus themed ones, Venus is like kind of orange, but it's like very, very like there's like a lot of like white clouds around it, I feel like. It's very like gaseous. So my plan is to do like a cloudy white resin, not super opaque, but not like super translucent. I guess it would be translucent, not transparent, but like I want it to be very close to opaque, but just. Oh, hi! How you doing, Gobble? I've gotten distracted now with peeling resin off of that. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do like a kind of a cloudy white, and then I have this shimmery orange color that I'm going to do kind of like on the inside, so that it's kind of covered by the cloudy white, but you can kind of see it a little bit in there. I was debating if I wanted to add a little bit of like copper flakes into the white, or if that would be too much. Yeah, working on dice. I'm just running through all the different things I'm working on. I'm doing dice based on the solar system this month. I'm also starting to figure out what I want to do dice based on next month. I need to run a poll for that. But so I'm doing Jupiter and Venus today, along with a couple of commission things. But yeah, the plan is to do like a cloudy white with like an orange shimmering swirl on the inside, but I'm debating whether I want to add the copper flakes or not to the white. I could also add it to the orange. I feel like it might add a little bit to it, so it's not like, I don't know, I feel like it might be a little bit simple if I just did the white and the orange. That's what I'm not sure on. Yeah, not sure on that. I think I might do it with the flakes, just because I think it's more interesting. Yeah, and then I've got a set of Minecraft dice that I'm working on with a couple different things, like a silver blank. This is for a set that I have all done, except that this one had a little hole there on the side, so I was going to fill that in with just a little bit of resin. Might not even put the lid back on for it. Might just fill that with a little bit, tiny drop of resin and call it good. And then I have a tray over here for a commission that I'm going to do. We'll see if it's the final layer. It might not be enough resin to be the final layer, but we'll probably do, we're going to do whatever leftover resin we have to try and get this thing kind of finished. I'm just trying to cut down some of these mossy bits that are sticking up a bit. There we go. Cool. So hopefully we can get that done. Yeah, oh yes, that is your tray. I realized that like right after I said it, I was like, wait a minute. wait. Yeah, this is your tray. I went and did one layer with some of the dirt with some of the foil. Ooh, let's see if I can get it to focus. It's kind of hard to see the foil there, but there's a little bit of foil. I was thinking of just doing like a brown at this point, because if I do the foil, I worry. I could do it with some foil in it. I don't know that it's gonna matter much, because I think if I do the foil, some of it will end up against the like outside, and it'll end up kind of scratchy. So I could do it with foil in there. I don't think it would show up too much on the top, since I've already done a layer. And I think I'd end up having to do at least a thin layer of just brown on the bottom anyway, so that it wasn't scratchy on the bottom. So I don't know that it'll matter too much if I added the foil at this stage. But I'm trying to get things finished. I was gonna try and work on things on Monday, and then I ended up doing some painting for some inclusions for a different commission on Monday. I was just like, I'll pour it on Wednesday, it's fine. But all right, so I think that's everything. Let me get my colors into their mixing cups. Do I want to? So I'm going to be using this orange color for both the Jupiter dice and the Venus dice. But for the for the Venus dice, I want it to be a lot more saturated. I want there to be a lot more of the pigment versus the resin. So I'm debating whether it would be better to have two separate mixing cups. Or if it would be better to just like, I could just mix up the orange for the Venus ones and then add more resin to it. That might actually work out just fine because I'm going to want to do the Venus ones before I do the Jupiter ones. So that might work out actually. I think we can just do that. Cool, as long as I remember. The other thing I need to decide is if I want to do like a little drop of, maybe I'll just do it in like the D20. Maybe I'll just do like a little drop of red. Or maybe the orange red in the D20. I was debating the, I do have this bright red too, but I felt like the orange red was a little bit more true to life. But it's one of those things where it's like, do I want to be true to life or do I want to be a little bit more vibrant? I could just do the little drop of red, but I think that would look odd. Let's maybe do a drop of the orange red, but we'll play that by ear when we get there. I think maybe I'll just do like a little tiny drop in just the D20 and the other D20, but let me think here. Let me think about how much resin am I gonna want. So we're gonna have mainly white resin. We're gonna be making about 35 milliliters of resin because the set of dice is 30, and then I'll assume 5 for the D20. It might be a little bit more than 5. So we'll say 37.5. So let's say 15, 20. So 5, 10, 15, 20. We could say 5 milliliters of each of those and then 15 of the white. That seems sort of reasonable. We'll probably do like a little tiny bit more than 5, but that seems like a reasonable amount. 5 milliliters of each of these colors. How much pigment do I need? That's the real question. I don't think I need a ton. Set this off to the side. That's kind of a pretty color. Here's our kind of coppery color. Oh, this stuff a little bit goes a long way, so we'll just put a little bit in there. I have found that like my different mica powders like require a different amount. The Pearl X powders, which are very nice mica powders, a little bit goes a long way. Whereas the ones that I got on Amazon for not that much require a little bit more. But they work great. I love the colors. The colors actually look really good. I'm not complaining. This one is brick red oxide pigment. It's not actually a mica powder. It's I don't remember. It's a pigment, but I can't remember like what exactly it is. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh. Excuse me. All right, and then like I was saying, I want the orange to be really saturated for that. So let's grab a bit of this orange because we're gonna have a bunch that's like really saturated, and then we'll add more resin for the other ones. But I want to make sure there's enough in there for both of those things. shouldn't take very much over here anyways. And then that's gonna be that. That's gonna be that. I think that's all of those pigments. Over here, should I add a little bit of the foil? Should I add a little bit of the copper foil? I could also do gold. I think the copper's the best though. It'll be kind of like I'm thinking kind of mixed in with like the white, so there'd just be like little specks of it and stuff that you can kind of see. I just worried. I don't know. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. I could sit here and waffle back and forth for however long. I might as well just let's just go for it. If it doesn't work out, oh well. I feel like that's what always gets me, is just like indecision, and so I just end up not doing anything. It's just like just pick something, Liz. It's fine. It'll probably be fine whichever direction you go. That should be plenty of that. And that's going to be with our white resin, cloudy white resin. This is just going to be gray. I feel like I have... Let's just grab one of these mixing cups. Okay. I really need to do something with all of the resin scrap that I have. My bin is overflowing. I have a bin of resin scrap under the table. That's where I keep throwing all of the little bits that I pull out of the mixing cups. I really need to do something with all of that. I have so much, and that bin is overflowing. I have like 3 different containers of resin scrap that is just sitting around. Maybe I could do a tray. Maybe that's something I'll try at some point. I should actually get some trays done. It takes a bit of resin. I do have mixing cups now, though. Maybe I'll do that on, like, Saturday or next Monday. I usually pour resin on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. This one's going to take like 5 milliliters. I think that'll be enough. After that, we can always add more if we need to, but I think it'll be enough. I'm trying to decide with the commission that I'm doing. I have a thing that I painted, a little Minecraft skin thing that I painted, and I was going to do... some sort of glitter with it, I think. And I was thinking maybe yellow to match the little specks of yellow in here, or like a gold. But I'm not sure. That one's too orange. It's like maybe like a yellow. This one would end up kind of subtle, I think. That one I think is too muted. But I could do like a gold or something. Or, I mean, I could always do some other, like, just like a, ooh, I could do like a gold shimmer maybe. That might be nice. What if I just did like a really like subtle gold shimmer? That might be nice. I think that might be nice. I think that'll be nice and subtle, but still good. Because I do want the focus to be the thing that's on the inside. The piece that I painted. Oh. I'm so sniffy. So let's just add a little tiny bit of this shimmer. Make sure there's not other little flakes of things in this mixing cup. There are. Let's grab a different mixing cup. Grab a nice clean mixing cup. How about that? finally went and ordered some more mixing cups. So if I'm just going for like a really subtle shimmer, so I'm just gonna go bloop, tap, tap. That should be plenty for just a little bit of shimmer. Since it's not gonna be a ton of resin anyways, it's probably like about 5 milliliters or something. These two are gonna need to use a little bit of the brown. That's gonna be clear. I think I have all of my things laid out. It's only 25 minutes in. That's not allowed. I feel like it usually takes me like an hour to just get everything set up. Oh, just a second. Oh, I'm so snippy. Oh, I still need to mix up my dirt cocktail. That's what I'm missing. I'm missing my dirt. I missed the trash can. All right, so let's get our dirt figured out. Let's see here. I'm just thinking about how much resin I'm probably gonna have. So let's say that's 70. So really only about 20 milliliters maybe. Hopefully I end up with a little bit more than 20 milliliters, but I guess we'll see. So here's some cinnamon, which is a nice dark brown color. Ooh, it smells good too. Doesn't necessarily make the resin smell good, but it smells good. Here is some, I think it's cumin. I always forget. Yeah, this is cumin, which is slightly lighter and adds a kind of grainy texture. A little bit. Adds a little bit of texture. A little bit of color variation too. The coffee grounds also adds a little bit of texture, but I feel like it doesn't add as much color variation. So it's not as like easy to see the individual grains since it's closer to the cinnamon. I know how to words. All right, let's just put a little bit of this in here. I'm gonna need to get some more coffee grounds. I'm running out. I actually use coffee grounds fairly often. Hopefully that is enough of that. I guess we'll find out. Hopefully that's enough of the our coffee pigment. Does it work? And then let me just see here. Is this everything? I think this is everything. That's so strange. It usually takes me so long to get everything ready. I guess to be fair, I had kind of an idea of what I was doing, and I'm not doing, you know, 3 sets of dice. I'm just doing 2 and then some other things. All right, well, let me drink a bunch of my tea and we can pour some resin. All right, let me grab some. Oh, actually, you know, before I do that, I do actually need something to mix all of this resin in. Let me clean out a mixing cup here. Random piece of holographic something. This is always how it ends up. I always go, okay, let's go pour resin, and then I'm like, oh yeah, mixing cups. That's a thing. It's a thing I should do. Should actually get things, you know, have something to pour resin into. So I'm just gonna get some of the big spots off of here. And my thing's overflowing. So much extra resin. I need to figure out what I want to do with all that resin scrap. There's so much of it. There is actually, like, I've made some cool dice before where I like cut up the little bits of resin and then put those into dice. The problem is that it takes so long to actually like process it. Although actually I have some stuff sitting off to the side here. I have like a little like blender set aside that's like just for arts and crafts stuff, and I need to go and use it for some resin scraps that I have sitting off to the side because I have an idea. I think I'm finally going to go and make some Minecraft D6s. I made a while ago now. I made these 2 Minecraft D6s. It was a diamond ore and a grass block, if you've played the game. And I made them for a dice exchange with a friend who also makes dice and was, we were talking about Minecraft because we were both playing it. And like they got a fairly large response online, which I kind of expected a little bit because like Minecraft's been really popular lately, and so has D&D, and I feel like there's a lot of overlap between the 2 games, but which I could talk about. But a lot of people were just like, hey, can you sell these? And I went and looked it up, and it looks like you can make like fan art type stuff and sell it. There's certain limitations and stuff, but I was just like, yeah, I should do that. And then I just never decided like what all I wanted to make, and so I never made it. We're back to you know, not being able to decide and then not doing anything. But I think I've finally gotten it figured out what I want to make, and so now I just need to go and do it. It's one of those things where there's a lot of steps, and so I keep putting it off. Like things like this where I can just do a whole set of dice in one pour is so much easier on my brain. Once we get to like, you know, me making inclusions and stuff, I'm just like, I need to do this thing, and then I need to do this thing. Oh, but I need to do this other thing first, and it's just like, I'll worry about that thing later. I'll make that set of dice later. That's gonna take too long. I'm just trying to get all the little bits of resin off of there. Just grab a little tiny piece, and because this is pretty much clean, but let's just make sure we got all those little pieces. But yeah, I think I finally have a plan. So I just need to actually get all the pieces done to execute it now. Maybe I'll try and get that stuff going after I finish streaming. I'll probably forget. That's the thing too, is just like I always forget about it until I like see something that jogs my memory. And like usually when I see something that jogs my memory, it's because I'm like down here, and you know, it's like, I don't know, it's right in front of me. And then once I go back upstairs again, I completely forget about it again. Alright. That seems like a clean mixing cup. Clean enough anyways. So let me grab my safety equipment here. Equipment. Equipment. That P in the middle of that word really breaks up the word. Equipment. I don't know why that word's weird to me all of a sudden. Equipment. So let me grab my gloves and my respirator and another gulp of tea. Alright, have fun. Also, I'm gonna start getting resin poured. Cool. So let me get all my stuff on. Make sure there's no cat hair in my mask, because I feel like I ran into that issue. I ran into that issue recently where it was driving me insane because there was something Tickling my nose. That is one thing that I just can't stand with, like, for the most part, wearing the respirator is fine. But if there's like a cat hair or something in there that's tickling my nose while I'm trying to work, it is unbearable. All right, so I'm gonna be a little bit muffled. I'm gonna be a bit muffled for the rest of the stream. Just a heads up. Gonna sound like this, but I'll try to speak as clearly as possible. Which probably isn't very clearly if you've never heard me speak before. Alright. So I'm going to grab my resin. I'm using a 2-part resin. It's a resin and then a hardener, and I use equal amounts of both. I'm going to get those poured. I'm going to go quiet here for a second because I can't pour and talk at the same time unless we want to mess. And then I will be right back. See, I mentioned it, so now my nose itches. It's a good thing I ordered more resin. I just got some more resin. You can see how much resin I go through. Like, yeah, don't have a ton left in there. Don't ask why there's more hardener than resin. Don't ask. Okay. Alright, there's that. So now we just need to do a whole bunch of stirring. Alright, so this will take a minute. We can chat for a bit. I'm thinking of, so I'm planning on doing more resin stuff on Saturday. I tried something out last week where I tried streaming Minecraft on YouTube instead of streaming on Twitch. I do like it, I think. I don't know, there's a few reasons that I don't know if I'll actually make the switch and stream on YouTube instead of Twitch, because I was thinking about it. But, I don't know, I'm still debating. There's just a few things. Like, I really like some of the functionality on YouTube, but also I feel like YouTube is supposed to be more for edited content, not streams as much, so I just feel a little bit awkward streaming there. I guess there's really two things, I guess, that I am worried about with switching to YouTube instead of Twitch. One of them is that I feel like YouTube is there for edited content, so I feel weird about, streaming over there. Although at the same time, I have all of my streams over there anyways. Like, I do post all of my stream VODs to YouTube, but and then also I don't know, I guess I have concerns about losing the audience that I have here, but at the same time, it's not like I have a huge audience here. 20 live streams on YouTube, some broadcasts to YouTube and Twitch at the same time. That's alright, that's fair. I don't know, I guess I haven't really thought of YouTube as like a streaming platform. Like, I've watched streams on YouTube, but I guess I always think of it as like being for YouTubers, people who make edited videos, not for streamers. But to be fair, I think there's certain I don't think I can stream to both Twitch and YouTube. There's actually stuff written into, I think, Twitch's affiliate agreement that you can't. There's people who have not like signed on with Twitch. So like once you get to like a certain number of viewers and a certain number of hours per month and stuff. Has to do more with monetization on YouTube, that's why there's fewer. Oh, okay. To be fair, I've heard like I've heard mixed things about monetization on YouTube. I've actually heard good things about YouTube's monetization over Twitch's, but I don't know. Here's a here's a question for you though, like, do you go to YouTube looking for streams? Because I feel like people come to Twitch looking for streams and go to YouTube looking for edited content. I don't know. YouTube can't run ads on live streams like they do edited videos. To be fair, I'm fine with that. I think I'd prefer if my streams didn't have ads. It's not like it's making me a ton of money or anything. Like, I don't know. I don't think that's where the money's at, anyways. I'm honestly okay with it, with live streams not having ads. They're there to benefit Twitch more than they are me. But I see what you're saying though. Like if you had a really large audience, I can see that mattering. But since I have, an average of maybe 5 viewers, it doesn't really end up mattering too much to me. That is like something like to think about though. I don't know. I am looking for like folks's thoughts though on the matter. Like, I don't know. I'm trying it out at the moment with doing Minecraft over there and doing art streams here. I think that was the third thing that I was gonna bring up that I forgot about, is scheduling stuff. I like that on YouTube I can schedule a specific stream and then send people a link to that stream, if that makes sense. Like with Twitch I can say, hey, I'm going to stream at this time on this day, here's a link to my channel. But with YouTube I can set up like a reminder, basically, say with like it's a schedule, but I can set up like individual streams and then send people a link to that specific stream, and it will tell them when it's going to be, which I find very, very nice. I feel like that's nicer than Twitch to a certain extent, where I pretty much just have a thing that says, hey, I stream, Wednesdays and Saturdays. I feel like there's a little bit more freedom with the individual scheduling tool, sort of, because I can just schedule something whenever I want and send it to people. Many content creators have 2 YouTube accounts, one for live streams, one for edited. Not sure it matters much though. Everyone tries to figure out YouTube algorithms. Fair. Yeah, that's fair. So, I mean, that could be an option too. There was, I don't know, I'm still debating if I want to make the switch or not. Like, I think I like how YouTube is set up, but I don't want to, I don't know, it feels weird. There's just a few things there that are just like, I don't know. I mostly do arts and crafts stuff. So I mostly make resin dice. Other resin things. I've done some other arts and crafts things too. I've recently taken to streaming some Minecraft. So I'm really not much of a gamer. As far as games go, I'm interested in playing things that are like multiplayer, or like in the case of Minecraft, things where I can like build things. I'm not good with the first person shooters or anything. But yeah, multiplayer is more my speed. I do want to do some multiplayer games on streams at some point, like doing Phasmophobia or I don't know, anything like that. Oh, you have all the stuff to make dice, and you're fascinated with it, just haven't had the time. That's fair. That's fair. I feel like it's definitely, I don't know, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Oh, I was just talking to a friend earlier today, though, and I was talking about how I just haven't made time to, like, play Minecraft recently, which I then played today because I'm like, darn it all, I'm just gonna play Minecraft today. I have stuff done, ready. We're just gonna go and play it. But yeah, it's one of those things where you'd have to, like, set aside some time to actually, like, get into it, I guess. It is a lot of fun, though. It is a lot of fun. I don't know, what are you thinking? Like, do you have something in particular you want to make? Let me see here. I think this is looking pretty good. Let me just scrape the sides and the bottom one more time. I'm mixing the resin's one of those things. You want to make sure you have it all mixed, otherwise you'll end up with sticky spots. And you really don't want sticky spots on your dice. That would not be good. So I tend to over mix mine a little bit. Probably I end up adding more air in there than probably would be advisable, but these are going to go into a pressure pot, so I'm going to cure them under a whole bunch of pressure. Your hundreds of dice sets aren't enough or something. Fair. Well, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'll warn you that it is also a lot of work to make dice, but it is a lot of fun. You have inks, resin, pressure pot. Oh, you've got all the stuff. You got all the things. You're really all set to go. Yeah, you should do it. It's fun. Set aside a couple of hours probably, just to mess around with things. And you just, oh, and the sanding papers. Yeah. The sanding is, I feel like, the part that takes time. I have, at this point, gotten a tumbler for polishing them, which has been nice. I can just throw them in there. A friend has a vacuum chamber to do the molds. I don't even use a vacuum chamber for my molds, and it usually ends up just fine. I cure my molds in my pressure pot, actually, but that works out well. You can be super professional and actually use a vacuum chamber, which I don't. But it seems to have worked out okay for me so far. Oh, I did finally go ahead and make a tutorial video on my molds. I recently made a Patreon, and one of the things on there was doing, like, tutorials. Okay, I think we're good. I think this is good enough. It looks like it's completely mixed. I'm not seeing any streaks in here. That's kind of how I usually tell if it needs mixed more, is if I can kind of see where the two parts are sitting next to each other instead of, mixed together completely. I don't think I'm seeing. Yeah, I'm not seeing any spots where there's light hitting it weird in the middle. But yeah, I finally went and got a tutorial done for that. If you plan to start selling them, I would suggest getting Dice Masters, but and I got mine from Rebel Broker, which they've been great to work with. But if you're just planning on making them for yourself, you could probably just look through your hundreds of dice sets and find something that's a shape that you like. I think there's about 5 of each of these. You see in your players, fair. So yeah, you can use pretty much any old set of dice then. Use pretty much any old set of dice. I spent so long hemming and hawing over whether I wanted to get masters made or not. I was like, I'm never going to sell them. Why do I need masters? But then I was like, but what if I do want to sell them? Yeah, I spent so long hemming and hawing. There's that. And then, let's see, what did I say? About 15, a little bit more than 15 of this. This is going to be our white for our Jupiter dice. Alright, so there's that. Have you seen the Galaxy dice? They have a round ball and with a liquid and glitter sealed with UV resin. Oh, yeah, liquid core dice. Yeah, I've made a few of those. I don't see why it would affect balancing at all, since the spheres stay in the middle, like they're pretty evenly centered, and it's not like the liquid on the inside is going to be sitting towards one side or another. Yeah, I've made liquid core dice before. If the spheres get off kilter, to be fair, usually you end up getting spheres that fit pretty snugly into the molds, so that they stay in the center. Like really what's holding them in the center of the die is the numbers, because the numbers are kind of inset a little bit. So usually you get a sphere that kind of rests against the numbers, so it'll stay in the middle. It's a balancing act of getting them the right size. You don't want them too small so that they move around in the molds, but you don't want them too big so that they're pressing against the numbers and deform the faces. I've done that before too, where I had a sphere that was just a little bit too big, and so all of the faces bowed out a little bit. None of them were flat. Alright. But like with the liquid on the inside, it's not like the liquid is going to be all against one face or another. Since it can move around freely, it's still going to be an even chance that the liquid is towards any specific number. I do have a plan for I actually have a plan to do some liquid core dice for this solar system thing. You really like the looks of the gold flake inside of the die and using the cellophane tinsels. Oh yeah. Like a mix of like foils and iridescent flakes is like always so good. I always like how that looks. So let's see, we want about 30 milliliters. I'm doing some copper flakes in this one. I'll do about 30 milliliters here. You got bags of Easter grass? That's the fun thing about resin, though, is you can put like whatever you want in it, as long as it's not water-based. Water-based stuff will not work well. 1, 2, 3, so I'll get up to about 30. Let's see how that is. No, that's really what I really enjoy doing. Really like to try jumbo dice too, at least D20. Yeah! Jumbo dice are cool. Like, I feel like there's just a lot more space in them. Oh, hello! Welcome, Laura Courtney. Thanks for reading. How you doing? I'm just getting some dice made here. Welcome. Hi guys. I'm getting some dice made. I'm doing a thing this month where I make dice based on the solar system. So we're working on a couple of those, as well as a couple of commission things. Today. What were you guys doing? Working on arts and crafts stuff as well? Oh yeah, gotta stay safe. I figure I don't want my lungs to be messed up in the future, so better safe than sorry. I was definitely not good about, you know, using proper safety equipment when I first started doing resin. It's one of those things where I look back and I'm like, Liz, why did you do this? Oh, making a dream catcher, and Sleepy was playing Call of Duty. Oh, cool. Wait, was there 2 different raids? Oh, well, thanks for following, guys. Oh, here. My thing is so small here. Why is it not showing the raid? Weird. Alright, that's fine. But cool. Yeah, so this is welcome to the stream. I do mostly resin stuff. There's a little bit of other arts and crafts thrown in there. Let's make this a little bit. I'm doing kind of a like a cloudy white, and it has a little bit of copper flake in there. And then the plan is to put this into the mold, and then I'm going to drop some like kind of orange shimmer on the inside of that. Oh, actually, you know what? Maybe I will. I was debating doing, and I think I'm going to change up how I'm doing this slightly. I have a better idea. I was going to do the orange like on top, and so because it's so saturated with pigment, with mica powders, it would sink. I think I'm going to actually add some more resin to this. Let's go up to 7.5 or something. Oops, that. Alright, let's just go into that. And I think I'm going to actually use a pipette and pipe it into the middle and have kind of a cloudy effect, because that's really what I wanted, was kind of more of a cloudy effect. Yeah, so that will be, let's do that first, maybe. Oh, actually, you know, before I get to that, I have a die here that I had a little spot in the corner that it ended up with an air bubble. Let me get that. Let me get a little spot of resin into the corner of that first before I do anything else. Let me fix this thing. I want the resin to still be, you know, nice and liquidy for me, so I can actually fix this. All right, there we go. Before I forget, and then let's see. Got a few things here that I'm gonna do clear in. I've got 5 milliliters of this. Maybe I won't be doing the tray today. So I have a tray here that I'm working on for a commission, and I was gonna do. It has like mushrooms and stuff on the end, like that sort of thing on the inside, like fairy rings and things. But I was gonna do a layer of like dirt, and I don't know that I'm going to have. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough resin or not. It's gonna be close. So this is just clear resin here. I had a little bit of like a gold shimmer in this cup, so I just want to get that stirred in. This is for a different commission. I'm doing a set of Minecraft dice for someone, and I'm going to put this into my blank D20 mold. I have a mold here that's like a little bit smaller than my dice, but it's in the same shapes, and it doesn't have any numbers in it. So I'm use it if I want to kind of have a little bit of a barrier between like the blank and whatever, and the die itself. And in this case, I think it'll help protect this a little bit. But let's see if we can get that in there, and in a way that will hold it well. And we'll let that sit for a minute. I think there's a bunch of air that's going to rise to the surface. There we go. So let that sit for a minute. Let some air rise to the surface on that. We've got our other one. This one is going to be a little bit of silver. This is going to be another blank die, so it just doesn't have the numbers on it. It's a little bit smaller. Going to bed. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the raid. Glad you could hang out for a little bit. And then this one's going to just be a silver color. This one is going to get painted to look like a Minecraft diamond ore. Is that going to be enough resin? Probably not. Well, we'll do as much of the like dirt as we can on that tray. I've got a little bit of resin left, not as much as I was hoping for, but that's fine. I think this will be enough silver. Hopefully this is enough silver resin. I don't quite know exactly how much these molds take. That looks like it's plenty. Alright. A little bit of that left. We'll use that for something else, I'm sure. Let me get some things in the locations that it's going to be easiest for me to use them. So usually I have like a tray that I have sitting over here. Let me grab that. This is what I'm going to set things in the pressure pot on. That made sense. This is what things are going to be on when I put it into the pressure pot. And I'm just going to set the things that I'm letting air rise to the surface on over on it to sit for a little bit. Get it out of my way. I'm also going to spritz things with a little bit of rubbing alcohol. And that's just going to help the air bubbles on the surface to pop. Helps break the surface tension. Alright. So I think it's going to be probably best to do this one first. Yeah, I think it would be best to do that one first. Move these up and out of my way. Up and in the way. No, wait. All right. So here's the plan here. I've got all of my dice. I'm gonna fill these up, like three-fourths full, maybe, about 3/4 full, with our milky white that has our little flecks in it. I'm wondering if I should make it a little bit more opaque. I'm not sure. I'm debating if it should be a little bit more opaque or not. Maybe I just added too many of the flakes. Let's add one more drop of white. And add one more drop of white, and wherever it ends up there, we'll call it good. But let's get that mixed in. So I'm going to do our semi-opaque white with our copper flakes in it. About 3/4 of the way up. That's more like half, but oh well. But the point being, kind of like most of the way full, but not completely full. Let's get that. And then I'm going to take our orange, and I'm going to kind of like pipe it into the center so that it's kind of subtle, hopefully. That's the goal anyway. I'm going to try and get it so it's kind of like a cloud of orange in the middle. So I've got a little bit of that left, which is good. We'll need that. And then we've got our nice bright orange here, and a pipette. And let me see if I can show you on the D6. I feel like it's easiest to see on the D6. Got our D6 here. I'm just going to put this in and add a cloud of orange on the inside. And then, once I've got that, I'm going to top it off with some more of that white. But I'll go ahead and add the orange to all of these first, and then I'll top it off with that little bit of white. Oops, didn't get much there into the D8, but I think this might work out actually. Trying to get some in the middle there.
Like I want it to be kind of subtle so that the white's still like on the outside of it. But I do want it to be visible, so I want, you know, there to be enough there that it's visible. And then the D12 and the D20 are honestly a little bit, I don't know, there's a lot more space I feel like in those. We're going to kind of, I'm going to try and kind of swirl it around a little bit on the inside so it covers a little bit more space. We'll also add a little bit more to the D20 and the D12. There we go. There we go, and then I'm going to use this orange with our Jupiter ones as well, so I'll just set this off to the side for now. All done with our pipette. Get that out of the way. And then I'm going to use the rest of the white and gently layer it on top here to try and kind of cover up that orange a little bit, because I want the orange on the inside. And I want to add enough of the resin that actually it's kind of domed a little bit on top. I'm going to be curing these in a pressure pot. It didn't last long. That's alright. I never know what to do with raids. But I'm gonna dome these a little bit so that there's kind of a little bit of extra resin here, because these are going to be going into my pressure pot. And so once we put them under a whole bunch of pressure, all the air bubbles are going to get squished down really, really small, which means that I need some resin to fill in the space where the air bubbles were. So I want a little bit of extra resin here to fill in that space. And do a little bit on the lids as well, just a little bit of resin. Mostly because I don't want air to get trapped in the numbers. I don't need air, you know, big pockets of air trapped between the face of the main part of the mold and the lids, because a little bit of air is fine. It'll get pressed down, squished down really small, like I mentioned, but a bunch of air is just going to cause big gaps. All right, there we go. Yes, I did make my own molds. I need to make more, but yes, I did make my own molds. Air bubble there in the corner. All right, looks like these are pretty good. I'm gonna set them off to the side. You know, it's funny. Like I chat with a couple of other dice makers as well, and I was talking about how I really don't like making molds. And then the other person I was talking to was like, man, I really don't like sanding. And I'm like, I'm fine with sanding. And they're like, I'm fine with molds. I don't know, it's one of those things. That was why I was saying though that I just finished a tutorial video on how I make my molds, because like, I don't know, it's a process, I feel like, to make molds. I think that's why it gets me, is like there's so many steps. I feel like lots of little things to do, but no, I need to make some more. Set these off to the side. We can move on to our other things here. You know, actually, before I get to the Jupiter ones, maybe let's actually let me mix up the dirt. That sounds weird, but I'm going to use the rest of the resin here to make a bunch of dirt. What is in here? Cat hair? No, get out of there, cat hair. There's always cat hair. Always cat hair in there. might leave just like a little speck of clear resin just in case I need it for something else. But I guess I'll have plenty of resin there, I think. Oh, you know what I forgot to do though? Oh no, I did do both. Okay, I did do both D8s. I was worried there for a second. I was like, I didn't do the extra die with the Venus ones, but I did. We're good. Phew, we're safe. You jest. I have a set of dice in a thing over there that literally are just full of cat fur or cat hair, because it's a running joke on my streams that there's always at least, every set of dice comes with a complimentary cat hair. So I always find cat hair in my resin. I always have to pick it out. But I at one point, folks in the chat were like, you should just make cat hair dice. I'm like, you want cat hair dice? I can do cat hair dice. And I literally just pulled out a bag full of cat hair. For reference, I was doing needle felting, and I was like, I bet I could do this with cat hair. And so I brushed my cat and like put it into a little Ziploc bag just to see if I could. And then I just had it sitting with the needle felting stuff and never really did anything with it. Actually, let me start with these. And so I just randomly had a whole bag of cat hair. And everyone was just like, Liz, what? Why do you have this? What is this from? I'm just doing a really thin layer here. This is for a commission that I wanted kind of a dirt layer as a little base layer. Let me just. All right, that should be good. Yes. In 10,000 years, some scientists will use the DNA in the cat hair dye to recreate the extinct feline. That, yeah. Somehow in the future I cause Jurassic Park to happen. But it's just cats. I feel like I'm okay with this. Yeah, this isn't gonna be nearly enough of this dirt, but and I'll at least get some things spread out, evened out. Only because Amber colored died. Ah, no, it's just clear resin with like gray cat hair in it. I can grab one to show you. Give me just a second here to get this poured. Just trying to get as much of this resin in as possible. All right, I'll show you. Here's one. Let's see if I can get it so you can see. My camera never likes to focus on what I want it to focus on. You can kind of see though. Yeah, there you go. I lost it again. Well, if you saw it for just a second. But yeah, that's a D6 full of cat hair. I did do like amber based dice. They're in my shop still, I think. And the D20 has a bee in it. I thought that was kind of fun. Into the cat whore, get the resin. I mean, they might as well have. There's a reason that I'm not planning on selling those. They're literally just a conversation piece in streams, I feel like. Because they're just, yeah. I posted a picture of them on social media like the day after I made them, or pulled them out. And the kind of the two different responses that I saw were one, that would be really nice as like a memorial piece for a pet, and two, those are cursed. And I must admit, I agree with both. Like, oh boy, are they weird. Let's just get this even out a little bit. Yeah, I don't have nearly enough of this resin. That is fine though. That is fine. I'll just end up doing another layer. There's more cat hair here. Get out, cat hair. You're not needed here. Where's my tweezers? There we go, got it. No, I never said that they were attractive dice. Just that they were dice full of cat hair. But it really does go to show that you can put anything in resin. You can put anything in resin. I'm just gonna, we'll just call this good. I'm just trying to kind of fill in areas here that don't have any resin, filling them in currently. There's a couple spots here that I could use a little bit of resin. Yeah, but that's fine. I think we'll just let that sit as is. I'll put it into the pressure pot. I might not even need to put it in the pressure pot, honestly. I'm going to do another layer, but that's fine. All right. Well, like I said, you can't put things that are you can't put water-based things in your resin. So I mean, maybe Grandma's ashes. They could go in resin, I suppose. Alright, so let's get our Jupiter dice going. I think that's the last thing that I have to do. I think I just have the Jupiter dice left. I think I want more of an opaque white than I did with the other one, so I'm using a different white ink. This one is a little bit more pigmented. Should be okay. Still shouldn't do it. Wow. Wow. Is my chat box not working? Where's my chat box? Normally that black square shows the chat, but I'm realizing now that it's not. Why is it not? Let me add it again. I've been having some issues, though, to be fair, with some of those things. Let's see, where's my... It's just a second. I just deleted it. Give me just a second. Where is it? It's like not showing up. Woo! That's not what I want. That's not what I want at all. There we go. Huh. Yeah, usually if I have a widget like that, so if I have like a little thing that I've added, it will have like a square around it when I click on that piece. Yeah, it's not even showing up like it exists. I do appreciate the tests, guys. I do appreciate that. It's just not working. To be fair, I've been having some issues. Like I have like some like commands basically in the chat. Like if you've been on, you don't exist. This is all just a figment of my imagination. Yeah. That makes sense. That lines up. No, I've been having some issues though with the with things not working. Like, so I have like commands. I should be able to do like ! Discord and have my Discord link show up. You're just Russian bots trying to take over my stream. Yeah, that might as well happen. That seems about right. Like that one thing that's like, life's already so weird. You have to control dice making knowledge for Mother Russia. Oh, sorry. Got to control dice making knowledge for Mother Russia. Yes. I'm sure it's so important, yeah. But no, yeah, that's weird. It's like just not, things aren't working. I expect that that's a Streamlabs thing. I was having some Streamlabs issues. Like the current version of Streamlabs like doesn't work with the operating system that I'm using. So like I was having problems. I finally got it set up so that I'm using like an old version of Streamlabs to stream with, which is maybe not the best idea, but there wasn't actually another way to get it to work, and it's janky. It's set up so janky. It's set up so that it works, but I have to run a command to actually open it. Oh man. Maybe I'll get a different computer for this space or something at some point. But I don't know. I have to figure that out. I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, my commands aren't working either, which is just odd. Just odd. So I might do. I'm debating. Here. I was going back to dice. I was debating doing in like the D20 like a little dot of like the red, because these are based on Jupiter, and they have that like eye. There's like one little spot that's like a dot. And I was debating kind of like trying to emulate that by just putting a little dot of resin there and then pouring everything else. I don't know if that would work or not, but I guess we could try it. It's not going to hurt anything if I just put a little tiny dot on the on here. Let me just get a little tiny bit on my thing here. I'm just gonna, just a little tiny bit, and just put a little tiny spot in there. We have disabled the commands. We will use them for our nuclear missiles. Alright, let me do the same thing over here. Just a little dot in there. Don't know if that'll do anything at all. Alright, and we're gonna do dirty pour. So for dirty pour, I take all of the different colors and I put them all in the same little cup. So I'm gonna do that. Take all of our different colors, put a little bit in here. Put the copper here. And then actually I think I'm going to add a little bit more of the white here. So I want a little bit of white, I think, in between the colors. And then I was thinking, I think I might try this. We'll see how well this goes. I'm going to add a little bit of brown and a little bit of white. And that might be too much. We'll find out, I guess. I'm going to try and make that so it's not just all on the surface. Alright. And then we'll go ahead and pour that in. So that's all of our colors there. And we'll see how well it goes. Might need some more white. Might be too much red. I don't know. Like, I feel like the colors are good. I think the colors are good. I think I need more white in there though. And this red's very, very pigmented. What did I do here? I think I did, and then I did a little bit of this. I think I'm not going to add any of the I think I'm going to add like a little tiny bit of this to the thing before I add the brown and the white ink. But let me finish pouring this one D20, I think. Actually, yeah, let me finish pouring this one D20. Alright. I'm going to do this D20 last. because I want to make sure that I get the full set done. And then I'll worry about doing the D20. So I'm just going to do the same thing for all of these. A little bit of each color. I think I might have done that in a different order, but that's fine. I'm going to add just a little bit of this to the mold before I add the ink, because I'm thinking about it. And if I do the ink first, sometimes I end up with like all of the ink just on the, I think it's closer to like 50 or something. It probably is technically like a 30-minute work time, but I usually get away with, using it for a bit. But this is the last thing anyways, and it's kind of good if it's a little bit thicker, I feel like, for the dirty pours, because it helps keep the colors kind of separated a little bit. But yeah, I added a little bit of resin first, because otherwise I feel like all of that ink might end up all together. I think maybe these don't have enough white in them. I should have done more white, I think. Might not be light enough. Guess we'll find out. I think there's too much of this red. This red is just really, really strong. So yeah, same old thing. Oh, let me add some of that brown, which I didn't do. Didn't do that like I should have. That's fine. As long as I get it in there a little bit, I think it'll be fine. I'm going to pour a little bit into there. I'm going to get some of that brown in here. No, it seems to work fine. I have done that actually a little bit. Yeah, you can 3D print things and put them into the resin. Are you thinking to be fair, are you thinking like a resin 3D printer? Because I guess to be fair, I have painted. No, yeah, it works fine. I can show you. I have something behind me that I 3D printed and then put into the resin. And it worked fine. Ooh, see, that's more. This is more what I was going for. This one has more like lines in it. You can kind of see in there. It's hard to see with the but it has kind of some more lines. The problem that you might run into with 3D printing things is some of the resin 3D printer resins will make it so that your silicone doesn't cure. So making molds can be an issue. That's something I've run into. I'm trying to get figured out. I went and got some tin cure silicone. I haven't tried it out yet, but hopefully that'll help. Hopefully that will help with the cure inhibition of the molds. You were thinking for the D20 it'd be cool as a planet, then others as moons or rings, and one was a little satellite or Voyager or Mars rover that could have died. Oh, that could be cool. I was debating whether I wanted to do anything for like Jupiter's moons or something, but I want to try and do at least all of the different planets, and so I'm focusing on getting those done first. I was thinking I did have an idea maybe for some moon themed dice. We'll see if I get to those. I think I probably will get to the moon ones. I have ideas. So we'll do the dice that I have ideas for. Yeah, that could be cool. Alright, there's that. Is there a little bit of... How much clear did I save? I think I'm going to need more white. I'm going to put the rest of the clear into the white container and add another drop of the white ink. Because I need more of the white resin. Or the planet symbol on the D20, but that would mean at least a different lid. Oh yeah, no, that's not. It'd be cool, but it's not going to happen. It's so much work. That's a lot of work right there. I've had people in the past ask if I do custom faces, and no. It's one of those things where, like, I'd like to start making some of my own, like, masters and stuff. Oh, I didn't add all my colors. Making some of my own masters and stuff, so that, you know, I do have some, like, new faces and things, but it's just so much work. I would not want to do that for every new set of dice. Alright, there's your colors. Let me add just a little drop of this into the D6, and we'll add our brown. No, I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice. I want to be nice. Yeah, it's just a lot of work though. It's a certain amount of work that I'm like, I don't want to put in the effort for that. I'll put in effort for... Nice is so 2020. No, I don't know, I'll put in a lot of effort for certain things, but I don't know, I guess making the, I don't know, maybe it's because I don't like making molds. Customers expect snark now. No, I'm gonna be nice. Well, they can expect what they want, and I'm just gonna be nice. So, there. Worst part of customer service, have to be nice. To be fair, I feel like, I don't know, I've got a little bit more freedom. Cause like, if I'm mean to somebody, like, it just means that they're not gonna, you know, get something from me or get something from me again. So it's not like it really, there's not like anybody else that's gonna be like, ooh, you did something bad, Liz. But, I guess it does affect me directly, but it's not like, I don't technically have to be nice, it would only affect me. But also, I want to be nice. I don't want to be mean to people. That's mean. Add some of this to here. Alright, looks like we'll have enough resin. Ah! It's getting a little bit thicker here. We are getting towards the end of our work time, I think. But let's just put the last of our resin in here. Might as well use it all up. I don't know. I don't know. I want to be nice to people. I don't mind. I don't know. I haven't really had anybody who's been like a jerk, which has been good. Like, I don't know, there's nobody that I've, I don't know, been really upset with, I guess. Usually people come and say, hey, is this possible? And I'll be like, no, sorry, that's not something I can do. And they're like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, I don't know. I haven't had a terrible customer experience, well, yet, I suppose, but I don't know, everyone's been pretty chill. Hopefully I don't have a terrible customer experience. I feel like most people that are coming looking for handmade dice, like if they're looking for them, usually they have some sort of idea of that, like the expense of them and stuff. I do know that when I first started looking at handmade dice, I'm like, oh my gosh, these are so expensive. Why are these so expensive? And then I actually started making them, and I'm like, oh, I see why these are so expensive. You've always said you're easy, just not cheap. You'll do whatever you want if the money's right. Oh man, I don't know if I'd go that far, but let's add some of that brown. Maybe we will have enough for the for that last D20. That's kind of a what's the word I'm looking for? You said the same thing in your youth. Oh. Oh, and then I want to add a little bit of the brown here too. Let's see if we can get this D20 down. I'm out of the white, but we can. Heck no, I'm older than dirt. It's one of those things where it's just like so if someone offered you $2,000 for a custom set of dice where you had to make new molds, like you can say everything has a price. There are certain things that like I wouldn't do for $2,000. It's more that like at the price that I would be willing to charge someone, it's not actually worth my time. Like I don't want to charge people like there's a balance I feel like that I try to keep between charging people to a point where it's fair to me, and also charging to them to a point where they feel like they're getting their money's worth. And I feel like the amount that I would, to be fair, like I don't want to make, more molds and stuff. And so it would be a very like high price, let's say, to get me to do that, but it also doesn't seem like a price that would feel like it's the person's getting their money's worth. And so I would just never quote them that. I'd rather just say it's not available to me than quote it to them at a ridiculous price. Because the price point where I'd be willing to do it is higher, I think, than something what would actually be reasonable. So I just don't really want to do it. So, I may or may not actually take it up if someone offered me that. Because, like, on the one hand, sure I would do it for that amount, but also that's kind of a ridiculous amount of money, I feel like. When you were in high school history class, you just wrote down what you did that day. Wow. Oh, yeah, for sure. But, like, I don't know. I don't want people to feel like they're getting cheated or something. And I feel like there's a difference between... In that situation, someone is offering me a certain amount, and I can either accept or refuse it. But in a realistic situation, I am offering an amount, and someone can accept or refuse it. That's the difference, I think. Back in my day, we chiseled stuff into stone tablets. You just wrote in blood in the dirt. Oh, remind me never to go to your school. Sounds dangerous. Alright, I didn't have quite enough, honestly, for this D20, but we're just going to put the rest of what we have in there. It was easier with dinosaur bites, am I right? Come here, Mike. Alright, let's go ahead and pour that in. Whoops, that was more resin than I meant to pour. That's fine. Alright, and then actually I wanted to put some of this resin on the lids. Alright. And then we've got a little bit of extra resin in there. We'll pour that into maybe a D6 or something. Probably a D6 or something. There's way too much resin on here. That's right. Alright, that's fine. Cool. So we've got that. Got these all put together. Let me spritz them down so I can break some of that surface tension, like I was saying. A little bit of rubbing alcohol, break the bubbles on the top. No, it was the aliens that brought us the dinosaur planet as the experiment. Not saying it was aliens, but it was aliens. You crashed and it killed most of them, so you're good. Alright, yeah. A little bit of this to the D6 here. Use a little bit more, a tiny bit more resin. Alright, cool. I think things are looking good. So let's see, what do I have left here? I've got this with this D6 over here. How's this D6 looking? Not D6, D20. What am I talking about? It's a D20, but it has a cube in it, so I'm thinking D6. But how's it? Oh, actually, it's doing pretty okay. Just add a little last bit of resin here. And we've got a little bit of clear resin with some gold shimmer. We've got some silver, and we've got our leftover reds and oranges type 1. I think that's all of the resin that we have left over. Cool. Actually, here I have a die here that I can use the clear in. I have a D10 that's just, you know, random leftover resin. Has purple in it at the moment, so let's just use our clear with our little bit of gold. I think that'll match well. I'm pretty sure this is the plot of one of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy books. Can't remember which one. It sure seems like it. That is actually one of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy books, where like the first humans were aliens. Oh dear, yeah. I have to read it aloud too, since the chat, you can't see the chat. It says, "Hide near Tauntaun, you'll be lukewarm." Why? Why have you done this? Alright, let's see here. So let's do like a D6, I think. Do like a D6 with the leftover resin here. Wrong, just wrong. And this is just leftover resin, so let's just scrape that out. Alright, there's that. There's a D6. I still have some left over. It might be good with the silver, actually. I'm gonna throw the silver in here, too. I'd have my dad card revoked if I didn't tell bad dad jokes once a day. That's fair. That's fair. You don't want to lose that card. Like, you know, it's important. Can't lose that. And like dad jokes are one of those things where it's like, I love them, but also I feel like the only appropriate response to them is to groan at them. It's like you know you've done a pun, right? If everyone in the room starts throwing things at you. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me. Feels like the appropriate response to a good pun is acting like it was a bad pun. Alright, let's do silver. Silver. What do I want to do? Maybe a D12. Yeah, we'll do a D12. I could add my clear too. Might as well add the clear. It just clears a little bit of gold shimmer. That's fine. I'm just going to throw everything in here and see what happens. Why not? This is just leftover resin. So I'm gonna finish this up, and then we'll get the lids on and probably call it for tonight. But that'll take a minute. Let's go ahead and pour this into this D12. See what happens. So I will post photos of these probably on my Discord tomorrow when I pull them out of the pressure pot. So if you want to see them, my Discord link is in my About section. I should be back on Saturday. I'm going to do more space dice, more planet dice on Saturday. That'll be at noon though. It'll be at noon Pacific Standard Time instead of 7 p.m. So if you want to see more planet dice, that is when I will be back for that. That's good enough. So let me just start getting the lids on here, and we'll be all set. Just spritz everything down with a little bit of rubbing alcohol one more time. All right. So I guess let's start with these since I have them over here, and most of the bubbles are all popped. These are the what was it? Venus themed ones. So they have some copper foil in like some milky white, and then I have orange on the inside of that, like a shimmering orange on the inside of the die. I just added pat hair. I was trying to get a fleck of something off, and I added pat hair. That was the opposite of what I wanted. All right. Oh, thanks. Doesn't always feel like it. There's definitely days where I'm just like, what did I do today? That's part of the reason I have my calendar though, so I can actually like visually see. I do not have a good memory. So like there will be days where I will work on like a whole bunch of little tiny things that, all were useful, but didn't actually get any one specific thing done, and I'm like, I didn't get anything done today. Pretty sure that's the ADHD talking though, so. Pretty sure that's the ADHD talking. Oh. Yeah, to be fair, I really enjoy what I do. I really enjoy the dice making and stuff, and I really want to make it work. Like, it's not really... Oh, my calendar? I can show you my calendar. Are you talking about my calendar over here? I have my planner. I do a different layout each week, but it's oh, here was last week's. It was kind of fun. Yeah, I have all sorts of stuff in it. It's just that, like, I don't know. I can't remember things in my brain, so I gotta write them down. Set that off to the side. I've gotten to the point where I actually, you know, remember to use my planner, which is the important part. I feel like that's that was the real struggle is making it habit to actually use a planner. You know, I feel like that's, you know, they gave us planners in school and stuff. I feel like we were never really taught, like, how to use them effectively almost. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of things that you're just kind of expected to figure out, but, like, don't come naturally to everybody. Like, we were given planners in school, like, here's a planner. And then it's just like, what do I do with this? How is this useful to me? Like, I guess in theory I know this is useful to me, but I don't know. I always forget to write in it. Like, what's the point? Let's see, let's get our lid on here. There's a little bubble there. But no, I really enjoy making dice. I enjoy creating things for people. It's really satisfying. It's rewarding. I guess that's the right word. It's rewarding to make things for people. And I'd like to continue doing it. And at the moment, I'm not to a point where I am making like a living doing it. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that. And until then, I'm just going to keep, you know, doing stuff, I guess. Keep trying to make it work. Which means that, you know, I'm always working, which probably isn't the you know, best habit to have. I'll blame my dad for that one. My dad's also the type that's always has to be doing something. But I don't know. I worked. I had a desk job for like 5 years, and then I quit it so I could go finish my bachelor's degree. I had like 3 more classes, and I just couldn't get them to line up with my schedule. Plus, I was like, you know, so burnt out from working full time and going to school part time. And I had like a month or two in between when I finished work and when I went back to school, and I realized in that month or two that like I forgot how to relax. I couldn't. It's like I don't know. It always felt like there was something I needed to be working on. It's like I don't know. It was one of those things where it's just like, oh, I think this is bad. I think it's bad. I don't know how to relax anymore. There's like an underlying anxiety at all times that I'm forgetting to do something. Ugh. Fair. Not really my thing. Ugh. I try not to mess with my brain chemistry too much. I figure it's already messed up enough. Oh, but if it works for you. But again, I'm happy doing what I'm doing right now. There's a little bubble there. A little bubble in the D2. Not in the D2, but in the 2 face. Alright. We'll see. I'm kind of excited to see how these dice turn out. I don't know if they're going to end up like way too dark. It's one of the, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to end up way too dark. I don't know how light they'll be. Some of them might be super light. Some of them might be super dark. I don't know. Like I said, I'll post photos in the Discord tomorrow once I pull them out of the molds. There's a bubble there. Get out of there, bubble. Yes, I will be. You think dark? I think so too. I think they're going to end up kind of dark. And then the D2 looks kind of like it might be kind of light. So we'll see if they all look like they match or not. But yes, I'll be back on Saturday doing more resin stuff. That will be at noon Pacific Standard Time. But I'm going to go get these into the pressure pot. So I'm going to call it a night. Thanks for hanging out, guys. And hopefully I will see you guys later. So, bye!